because all the medical stuff is burnt, like plastered into my brain.
Yep.
Like you said, the trauma, like all the traumatic things are just there.
They're there.
And I can't, like, how could you forget that? Like that there, like the happy moments don't seem to stay like how you would like them to. It's like the trauma's there, then you want to, like,
well, I think there's a fear
it's like a
that
reminder, like, okay, got to make sure you get the meds on time, or this can happen, or got to make sure you get a good sleep cycle, or this can happen, or, oh, okay, make sure, like, I'm constantly always after every damn meal, like, because, I mean, we'll eat some food that has, like, soy or a trace of peanut or something in it, and I'm, okay, if anybody comes over, please wash your hands, wash your mouth if you're going to touch Declan, or, you know, if you do, he can go into anaphylactic, and the case of him being, if we have to epi him, like, his atenolol can reject it, and then he can go into SVT and go into cardiac arrest, and who knows, he can just die. Like, we don't know. We've had that issue, so it's like I have constantly.
So nobody can tell you that it's going to be okay because you know that it might not be.
Yeah, so I'm always Clorox wiping after everything, and I've never been so anal retentive about things in my life, and I'm always this and that. We had somebody come in yesterday and deep clean our carpets for us. Our condo complex people here did on their dime, and they and the guy was like, wow, you guys really like to keep a place clean, don't you? Like, yeah, I guess you could say that. He goes, well, that's good. He goes, oh, I was going to vacuum up that stuff from the carpet that I fixed here. You don't have to do that. He goes, wow, you said you really like to keep a place clean. And I go, well, if you understood what I did in life, if you only knew.
I remember that though, like feeling like they couldn't play outside or they get some, well, I let them have those experiences, but I was, you know, always worried.
Yeah, like I said, if you only knew.
Yeah.
But I could tell you something funny though. Like my kids like AC/DC. They like listening to
really?
Thunderstruck. Yes.
I love that. It's a good coping mechanism.
It's one of their like, we're gonna get ready for our day. It's like, it's like, yeah, thunder. Shaking in my knees. So I'm thinking of my youngest is like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so what else? You've got a really lot going on. I think the more fun things that you can put in your day is the better. Crazy AC/DC, or I've always taken my kids for rides and we'll rock out in the car or that kind of thing.
Just that, or they like to swim or go to the pool. Like,
do they?
Yeah, we'll try to do things like that. I mean, I try to not make it all like we're stuck in here and we can't do anything, like it's the end of the world. Sometimes I feel like you've seen that show Bird Box, like, you gotta follow me. Oh
yeah, I know.
I'm like, my husband goes, yeah, that's you. I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much. I should write Sandra Bullock and say thank you very much because my husband says your character in that movie is me 100%.
Goodness. Yeah. So you have your mom, and it sounds like you and your husband are a pretty good team.
We are. I mean, I guess the thing that really gets me by is really having faith and believing that everything will be okay in the end. And
so blind faith, kind of.
Yeah, and just even though times are hard, like you got to make it fun by being silly, acting like a child. Like
harness your inner child daily,
or being a weirdo or of some sort, or saying like weird phrases or making weird faces and things like that, or I mean just being goofy or laughing at yourself, because I don't know, like a lot of people do dwell on the negativity, the darkness of it all, and they just let it sink over them. Yeah, there's a lot of that comes with it. Like, what's so beautiful about a genetic illness? Nothing. There's nothing beautiful about cancer, but you gotta look at those people who fight it and they try to make the best of it. It's kind of how you have to do it. So.
I totally agree. There is no like silver lining or rainbow pot of gold, but it is the moment. It's having fun and just accepting, I guess. I think that you really described that well. Anything you want to share and say to like someone that's just getting a diagnosis, that kind of thing?
One thing that did help when I found out that I have TSC and my son did, and I knew it was going to be just like a roller coaster of emotions and chaos and nonstop, maybe restless nights, and that's how it's been. But I take that Thrive by Lavelle.
That's what I saw.
It's just like a 3 simple steps thing, and it's like you take capsules in the morning, and then you take a shake, and there's like a variety of different flavors. There's chocolate, vanilla, there's a strawberry, there's a candy cane peppermint that a lot of people like to drink during the holiday season. And then there's an apple flavor. And I just do the vanilla because I can mix it with like berries or whatever. And then there's a patch, which is like your vitamins and nutrition that you put on your skin, and you wear it for just the 24 hours and you replace it the next day. And
I've
with
heard
that,
a little bit about it.
It's free to promote. It's free to be a customer. And like, I don't like shoving it down people's throats or.
You're like me. I would never be a salesperson.
I mean, I just do it because, it's free to promote, but I mean, like, it's just something.
Does it help you?
It helps me personally. I get my nutrition in because it is pure. And I do know that they are coming out with a patch. I don't know when, but I think it's very soon. I think in a couple months, it's going to be a CBD patch. So excellent. And I'm actually really excited about that.
For sure. A CBD patch. I'll have to like keep that on my mind. Cause I haven't tried CBD yet with my kids with TSC, but particularly with my daughter, I want to, because she's got a lot of more medical stuff, and the less meds that she has to take, the better. So I'm glad you've had some success.
Yeah, just with that, it's just one of the things that just keeps my energy flowing. So I'm not, because I used to be someone who would constantly drink Monsters, Red Bulls, like 5-hour energy shots, but I would crash, and I would be.
Oh, I hate the crash.
Start feeling really agitated and get more angry than usual. And then reading more about what those drinks do to you and your insides was not good, but
well, I think that's great.
Towards this, and I like it, and it gives me that energy. And if I need anything else, then I just go back to it. Yeah. But if it's something that anybody is interested or you're interested in, it's just like you just go to the link and you create yourself a free account, and there's no ever pressure to buy. But in regards to like saying anything to anybody to like give some advice to people here, all I can say is just no one is perfect. And no one is. And the world portrays that you have to be this perfect image of how like everyone likes to follow the celebrities, that you have to look like the next Kardashian, not to sit here and bash an individual.
No, I'm right on board with you. I think that the landing strip of normal or whatever is just a very, very tiny strip that very few of us are ever on.
But everybody wants to be the next Kardashian or the next, whatever her name is, Selena Gomez or something like that. And deep down, they may like advertise things and they may look flawless. They may look extremely beautiful, or even those, whoever they're married to or dating, may be extremely handsome and flawless themselves. But they all have flaws on their insides. Yeah. That's how I look at it. And they're not perfect. They all probably deal with massive depression, or they might be taking something to help them. Yeah. Like no one knows. They're not going to do that. And I would say it sucks to have someone like following you and taking your picture and not letting you live in peace and having your own privacy. And, to live with TSC, it's, excuse my French, it's a shitstorm. Yes.
It is a shitstorm.
But if you learn how to deal with it, for someone who has dealt with it for a long time and didn't find out, like, that was my diagnosis until 3 years ago, like, I have more of an understanding of why things were the way that they were.
Right. It's that looking backwards.
Like, if you can just take it one day at a time, if you can just breathe and go, "Whew, man, everything is going to be A-okay." It's just taking it day by day. Even if it's just, like those itty bitty steps. It doesn't have to be taking those huge steps. Like I said, no one is perfect. Yeah. Each person of their diagnosis with TSC is different. Nobody's the same. And I think that's where even doctors get it mixed up, because they think, like I said, like, oh, why aren't you in a wheelchair? Why aren't you severely mentally handicapped? And no one understands it. So just breathe. Just take it day by day. Preach. Don't think that you're less than what you are, because, if anybody believes in God, or Jesus, the only person that really was perfect was Christ himself.
That's beautiful. I kind of ball out with not really focused on one particular type of belief, or more of definitely a higher power, though, guiding force. And I think what you said is really beautiful, and it reflects your strength. I think I fall down sometimes on the idea of, well, I'm still alive. So no matter what happened in the past, I'm here and it's today. So what are you going to do?
That's how I have to go about it. And one day things will change.
You just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Yeah. And like you said, you're doing all the best things that you can do. And yeah, we're not perfect.
If you get angry, you're at home, you curse, then curse away.
Oh yeah, I'm a terrible potty mouth. In fact, I really held back during this interview.
I'm really bad.
If I don't drop the F4 before the kids get on the bus, then it's probably, going to be a better day. So
I really am. I will admit that.
Well, how many things can you really worry about? And if someone's going to judge you on that, then they probably just don't understand. So.
I mean, I guess that could be another thing I could throw out there to those who deal with this.
Yep.
And are having a hard time is there are those who do judge, and they're going to constantly judge. And I could say that I dealt with it a long time and I didn't understand it and it hurt and it made me feel awful. And
right.
But what's that? Like, you just got to kick up the dirt and keep on walking. Like, who cares?
Who cares?
Like, do I come home to you? No. Do I talk to you? No. Do I know you? No. Do you matter? No. So why are you talking to me? Get away from me.
Get the freak away.
So I mean, like, that's how you could just go about it when someone says their 2 cents, or like I mentioned previously.
Oh, you've had some tough ones.
I've had plenty. Even with own family members on my husband's side. It's interesting, to say the least.
Family can be tough. I think that it's easier for them, in a lot of cases, to distance or project or blame because it's too much to, see what you're going through and, like, be compassionate. What's your experience with family? Pretty tough?
On my family side, with my parents and, like, siblings, I could say when I found out what everything was in the beginning, everybody was kind of like, oh man, that's really sad. And then when I knew, like, certain family members had the Ashley spots or this or that, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys need to, like, find out, get tested, or, there's more than likely this. And I could say that in the beginning, my sister, because she's a nurse, and during that time, a few years back, we weren't on the greatest page and with one another. Like, no one, like, she didn't really want to take in consideration because she's a nurse, she's an OR nurse, so she works with doctors, so she knows way more than me. So, and that for a while, I could say with her, it was always, oh, I work with doctors. I know exactly what's going on. Like, I know this, I know that. And me, on the other hand, I'm just a homemaker. Like, I don't know anything.
Right. When really you have phenomenal experience, and, it's actually fairly unique. It's not completely unique, but I think that you do. You have some really deep lived experience that you'll be able to draw on. So don't let anybody ever discourage you from. It doesn't sound like you do.
Like,
you seem pretty strong.
I can say that I used to let those get to me, and
it wears you down, when doctors really don't respect you and you have to explain the entire situation for the 80,000th time.
But now I don't let that. I don't let people's opinions or thoughts or all that bother me. I just, like,
walk away from it. Yeah, and those things will if they get in your head, then
I dwell on it consistently, and then I don't take care of that is a major priority to me. And then everything gets way behind schedule, and then I'm in this horrible mood, and I'm letting it take over me, and it gets ugly. It just gets ugly, and I have just learned that, okay, I gotta do things differently. I can't let that happen. But I can say more likely on my husband's side of the family with things like that, they don't really come around. I can say my husband's brother's wife is part of some church, and her belief that she's advised us that why, when I said I've dealt with plenty of issues